Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, Coloring and Comments, a channel where I color in mandalas and talk to you about various topics that are on my mind. Today is the 18th of December 2022 and Lionel Messi has finally gotten his World Cup. Yeah, it's Argentina won, but it's Messi's World Cup. If you watch football or have any interest in football or soccer, if you're in America, you will know that Messi is regarded as one of the greatest players that has ever lived. But even with this, people always argue that he is not as great as maybe Maradona, or he is not as great as Ronaldo from Brazil and not Portugal, because he has never won a World Cup. And I can only imagine how this kind of negative talk can impact one's performance. Because the World Cup, or the FIFA World Cup, is the highest achievement in football that any player can obtain. And what today showed me, in that moment when they got to penalties and Argentina scored that fourth penalty, the cheering, the joy, the emotion showed me that it is important to show up for yourself even when people don't believe in you, or even when people say you can't achieve something, or even when the world does not recognize the work that you have put in. So many times when people have said stuff about Messi, he continuously showed up. He showed up on the field, he showed up for his team, and he delivered. And that persistence and perseverance has culminated in him finally winning the World Cup. And as I record this, I look back over this year and realize that so many times I have allowed the perceptions or the negative self-talk of those around me, whether it's people close to me or even folks that I don't know, influence how I show up for myself, influence how I believe in myself. And this has shown up in a lot of the work that I do, not only in my writing, but also here on YouTube. So for a long while, I stopped making videos. And I stopped making videos not because I didn't enjoy it or that I'm not passionate about this channel. I love what I do. I love recording, and I love talking to you about, all the things we talk about every other week. But I got to a point where I was looking at the numbers. I was looking at the subscriber count. I was looking at the video views, and I was like, is this even worth it? Why do I continue doing this if the world is continuously telling me, or at least the YouTube world is continuously telling me that I'm not good enough? Why am I spending so much time recording, editing, doing voiceovers if people tell me that my content is not appreciated or my content is not valued? Why should I continue? And I stopped. I stopped for a couple of months. And then one day I found myself coloring in again. And it dawned on me that I stopped doing something that I love simply because of other people's perceptions. I stopped exercising my creative abilities. I stopped channeling all the positivity that I wish to share with the world simply because the numbers weren't supporting my vision, or simply because other people were saying, yeah, your stuff may be interesting, but not that interesting. And I was disappointed. I won't lie. I was disappointed in myself because I created this channel to motivate others, to make others feel that they belong, to speak about stuff that I'm comfortable, like I mentioned last week. But then I realized that I actually wasn't. I was talking the talk, but not walking the walk, like they say. I was actually being kind of a hypocrite because I told everybody around me, like, don't give up on your dreams, keep pushing, keep doing this and that, no matter what people say. But I stopped doing what I wanted because of what people said. And when I started up recording about 2 months ago, I felt so much joy. I felt like I was myself again. Like, part of me that went dormant finally woke up. And that's when I realized that I can't allow other people's perceptions, other people's views of the world, because usually that's what it is. It's not, what people say is not really towards you. A lot of the time, what they're saying is their perception. But most importantly, what they're saying is usually them projecting their fears on you. So when they're saying that you're not talented, what they're actually saying is that I, the person that's, telling you can't do it, cannot do what this person is doing. Therefore, I am going to tell them that they can't do it, because if I can't do it, surely they can't do it as well. It's somewhat beyond comprehension that some people wish to live a life that is fearless, wish to live a life that is constantly in pursuit of the greatest version of themselves. And you can't blame people. I mean, the world was kind of created to make us fearful in order for us to buy into certain things, consumerism, but I'm not going to go into that. So I realized that negative self-talk, or the negative outlook, or the way that I perceived things had nothing to do with me. Had nothing to do with me, but had a lot to do with how other people see the world and how other people processed things. And how people see the world and how people process has no bearing on how creative and how endearing I can be. Therefore, how people perceive and process whatever you create, whether it is poetry, whether it is being great at being a lawyer, whatever that is that you create, right? That negative self-talk from those outside of you should not impact how you view yourself and your ability. If anything, when people come to you with negative self-talk, you should see it as kind of affirming that you actually can do it. You have the ability to work hard. You have the ability to become that CEO. You have the ability to become, a professional swimmer. You have the ability. And it's sad that people are so afraid of potential. People are so afraid of those that have ability and are using that ability to change their lives. And I believe that if we continue to exist in a way that challenges these self-talks, more people would be courageous enough to live that life, And I'm quite sure that a lot of people watching today's game were like, you know what, Messi I don't know how old he was when he started playing soccer. Took how many years to get to a point where he won a World Cup? Surely I can take 2 years to work at being whatever I want and actually achieve it. It's possible. If anything, today showed us that it is possible to achieve what others tell you is impossible. It is possible to live your ultimate dream, and you are deserving of that. So don't allow people's negative talk to impact the trajectory of your life, especially now during the festive season. You know, we mingle a lot with family. We share what we're up to. We share our goals, our dreams, and sometimes we might come across people that, don't have the same dreams, don't have the same vision, or are afraid of dreaming, afraid of having visions. And that has nothing to do with us. What we have to do, our job on this earth, is to live authentically, to live outside of other people's opinions, and to achieve everything that we conceive. And that's all. That's all I wanted to tell you today, is that you are capable, you're able, you have the ability, you have the talent, you have the perseverance. Don't be afraid. You can do it. If Messi can do it, we can do it. So let me know in the comment section, what type of negative talk have people inundated you with, and has that impacted the way you show up for yourself? And if it has, how has it impacted the manner in which you show up for yourself? And after watching this video, do you think there are things that you can do to move out of that space, move out of a place where you listen to this negative talk by others and continue on your path to greatness? Because that's what you're destined for. So I'd like to hear from you. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. May your day be colorful and wonderful. And I'll see you in 2023. Bye.